that's a hellacious front. With so many high picks, and their offensive line has a bunch of high picks, and Terry McLaurin, I know he's listed with an ankle, but he played really well against Cincinnati.
He's played well this year.
He's a 4.340, and he's their whole attack. They go to Terry McLaurin, and nobody seems to be able to stop him. And Antonio Gibson is a rookie third-round pick out of Memphis, and he ran for 128 yards by.
Good morning. Hi. Mr. Cheesy McWheezy, back at it again. New to the channel, man, please by all means hit that subscribe button. Like and share, man. I definitely appreciate it. I don't hate it. People, I want to talk to you guys and girls about food. Now, when I just started, what you seen was I needed to feed myself food because I was hungry. But I want to talk about the food that you give yourself. Now, before I get started, there's a couple of things. People, if you're going to go rob a bank, you need to feed yourself knowledge on how to be successful at doing that. All right? People, if you take let me just say this. Whenever an animal goes into a new environment, they have a heightened sensitivity for sound. They need to identify what everything is. So they're paying attention to, they're feeding themselves sound. What am I listening to? What was that? What was that? Blah, 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 blah. That's what an animal does. Go into a new environment. I remember when my cousin got a dog, and there was people, he lived on the second floor, and there were people living downstairs. And every 20 minutes, the dog was putting its head up because the dog was like, where is that coming from? The dog didn't know it was on the second floor. Nonetheless, probably wasn't a good example. But what I'm saying to you is that we all feed ourselves that in which we are hungry for. I'm about to help y'all understand why I'm the hated one. Formally, facts at 100%. People, I love my mom. The problem with my mom is my mom taught me, and my aunt and my grandmother taught me and helped me understand the end results of a person that don't just feed themselves negative, but damn near insist on going to a buffet of negativity. So I want to talk about the product of a person, pop. And the product of a person is what that person fed themselves. People, let me tell you something. I was just over the bridge, and I was just over the bridge in Hampton, and I came off this one street, and the street merged. As we was coming up to the light, I seen this individual with a very large backside, and she was at the bus stop, and she was going like this, and she looked at my car, and then right as I got to her, she did the old famous, I gotta. And then I just said, wow, you know, that's strange. And ultimately, I stopped at the light. And I stopped at the light. I had to lean forward to get that individual in my rear view, my side view mirror. And I just watched, and I watched, and then that person did that again. Now I'm assuming another car went by with a guy, and it's just, niggas trying to look at my butt. Niggas trying to look at my butt. And I just said, how does one get dialed into that perspective that when they see men, it's you trying to look at my butt? But that's what they fed themselves. I need y'all to follow me. People, I got up in the morning, this morning, and I feed myself information via Nick Wright, Colin Cowherd, Dave Ramsey. Probably listened to about 30 minutes of Dave Ramsey. First Things First is a 2-hour show. Colin Cowherd didn't come on yet. So I lied. Colin Cowherd will be on this afternoon at noon. Later on at noon. But I like to feed myself people of my kind. I like to listen to individuals that are very analytical. So I feed myself. I got a studio where I do my show out of because I'm fond of Howard Stern and, once again, Dave Ramsey and Colin Cowherd. All when they do their things, they have beautiful studios. Unlike them, I don't got a beautiful co-host. I'm getting off topic. I could be walking and see a black dude, and we're walking, and he didn't see me yet. And then as soon as he see me, he be like, oh yeah, a nigga up, I book a nigga up, I took a nigga, and I'm just listening to him like, dude, when I just seen you before you seen me, you wasn't singing a hard rap lyric. Like when I've seen guys and it's like, yes, I love ballet concerts, yeah, yo, fucking nigga, yeah, nah, I mean, keep it clean, nah, I mean, the sex beam and the triple beam, and it's like, oh, I gotta start singing rap. What are you feeding yourself, people? What are you feeding yourself? Please allow me to continue. People, I am from Newark, New Jersey. Carjack capital of the world. Very bad city. As I told you the other day, I had chosen when I was a teen, after looking at the landscape and making an assessment, I was not, and I mean not, going to make sure I was not going to put myself in a perspective where I fit the same old stereotype as a black male. I said I wasn't going to do that. I need y'all to follow me. So the reason why I did not fall into any of the negative stereotypes of a black male is because I did not feed myself anything that was in parallel to. Let me say that again. The reason why I succeeded at not falling in under none of those negative stereotypes is because of the things that I fed myself. I want to say it like that. Now I'm going to say this. If I was dating a chick that was on welfare with 5 kids by 5 different men, let me ask you a question. What song could I use to put a soundtrack on that relationship? What song? What song could I use? If I was dating a woman who was on welfare, living in Section 8 housing, public housing, in the projects, and I was in a relationship with her, and I am, as my relationship is, as is my relationship, my status is as it is today. What soundtrack could I put to that? You wondering where I'm going, right? You wondering where I'm going, right? Mm-hmm. People, classic 80s rock is my favorite genre of music. I feed myself Love and Hate Collide by Def Leppard. I feed myself songs by Sting. I feed myself songs by Genesis, Phil Collins. I feed myself beautiful music. Classic 80s rock is my favorite genre of music. That's what I feed myself. A friend of mine by the name of Eric said, I don't like female rappers. I said, why? He said, because they sound like dudes. Listen to them. And I did. I listened to a couple of them. I said, wow, he's right. I don't listen to rap, so I had to actually go listen to them. And I listened to the music that some say, and it's like, you know, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And that garbage, all of them, along with the feminist movement, got individuals saying, be a woman, but be like this. Be like Cardi B. Be like Nicki Minaj. Be those women. So what are you feeding yourself? You're feeding yourself a negative perspective. People, what I'm trying to tell you is, if you can't be happy about the soundtrack of your fucking love life, you're doing something wrong. I need y'all to follow me. Talking about feeding yourself. Appreciate those thumbs up. Talking about feeding yourself. Let me go back to my 5 kids by 5 different dudes living in the projects. People, I make no mistake about it that if you come into my life, you must be my I'm already happy. You need to make me happier. I don't think there is anyone out there that goes to a job and at the end of the work week, they get an IOU from the employer. If you want me to put that in perspective, what I'm saying is, when you go to a job, don't you expect at the end of the pay week to get paid in currency? You expect to be better off the next week because you got paid. That is an expectation of everyone, with the exception of individuals that go to a volunteer or individuals that are on an intern. I need y'all to follow me. Once again, y'all, I am very analytical. I'm almost willing to bet, and I'll tell you, you don't know some of y'all don't even know an analytical person. You only know individuals that got a lot of dumb myths and theories, and they speak of the pulse of social media. Oh, it's wrong that a black man was killed by a white cop, but it's okay for thousands of fathers to go down to domestic relations and allow themselves to be castrated from their children. It's okay. You go ahead. Analytics speaks to me differently. I need y'all to follow me. So if you say to a person that it is okay to experiment with wrong, how come in every other perspective of their life you can listen to them and hear someone that is very well spoken, got very well educated, can know that if they buy something for $2 and they surrender up a $5 bill that they expect $3 back, they know all these things, but when it comes to dealing with men, it's dumb stacked on dumb stacked on dumb. You know why? You know why they are feeding themselves that? Because that's what they're hungry for. That's what they're hungry for. Crystal L. Holman, 352954. She wouldn't like this perspective. That woman came down here a couple of years ago, but the last time I checked with her, her appetite was the same as it has been, but she was trying to feed me the narrative that no, I'm hungry for a good man now. When all along, that woman taught me to understand and the perspective of a woman with a large backside. I learned from her. And although that woman did not walk around and speak to everybody, she was not friendly, she wasn't approachable, I appreciated that about her. Men don't want no humble, jolly woman. Men don't want that. She was not that. But it came, what after a while, you just got to listen to them when they're talking to you. And what she kept telling me is that what I am hungry for is attention and dumping. The attention to be able to say, okay, I'm done with you. Next. May I help you?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm over here at the studio, putting some work in.
Okay, well, you can just text and say, hey, I see you called me a million times. I'm at the studio. That's what you normally do.
Oh, I didn't even see the phone.
Alrighty.
Okay, I'll call you, and when I'm done, I got one more.
Alrighty.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so what we got to understand is when you meet someone, got to learn how to read the screen. You gotta. People, I am amazed. I am amazed. I am so amazed. So much to the point where it's incredible. It really is. All right, so let me get back to this. When a person goes shopping for clothes, they look for quality, fit, character, some design. When a person goes shopping for a car, practicality, liability, affordability. When we go shop, when we're hungry, we go shopping for food, something that's gonna fill us up. Moderate proportions, nothing where you just get a scoop of food. When we go shopping for mates, it's nothing that's gonna make you better after the introduction. Nothing that makes you better after the introduction. It's 155 different million excuses. It's 155 million different reasons, and then it comes. You're on guinea pig time. It was dumb from day one. Period. You know, let me go left for a second, if I may. Part of life is growing. Part of life is maturing. You can meet somebody that was wild one decade of their life and settle down the other decade. That's cool. Wild one, then settle down. The reason why they was wild here and settled down here, in between that, they transitioned into some type of understanding that the wild stuff ain't cutting it. Now they're in there settled and they comfortable with that. And then they come across a person like me. And a person like me, I have more clients trying to sell me stupidity than righteous out the gate, being right. I have a lot of clients that try to make me or try to get me to believe that relationships turn corners. Relationships, they don't turn corners. Relationships are long, winding roads. Now, that's a perspective I like to use, and a perspective that I was saying. You could say relationships turn corners. It's not something to defend. Oh, no, because, no, it's not. It's a perspective. But here's some facts, aka truth. You changed because you didn't like who you were yesterday. Don't then turn around and defend it. Don't turn around and defend it. Don't turn around and defend it. Every woman before Crystal Holman had a big butt. That's what I was into. That's what I was into. I'm not defending it. I'm not going to sit here, oh, so you, nope. But nobody goes from 33 to 51 and say, nope, didn't have one then. My maturity was self-gratification instantly. Not, and then it was, it ain't even like when I dealt with women that had a large behind. I dealt with street chicks that had large behinds. I dealt with women with large behinds, and they still was women that had education and was stand-up women. I'm not defending the Chris I was prior to 32 when it came to choosing women. I'm not defending that guy. I'm not defending it. I'm not. Just as you learned, how about you saddle up and teach somebody else that you see doing the same thing? How about that? Because that's what I'm doing. Yeah, that's why you're here. That's what I'm doing. That's the, I don't know, that's the whole perspective of what I do videos for. So that 15-year-old kid can listen to me and say, cool. We feed ourselves what we're hungry for. That's what we do. That's what we do. We feed ourselves what we're hungry for. Point blank, simple, period. We feed ourselves what we are hungry for. And you would say, no, I disagree with that. Of course you would, because you're defending something. You're defending something. I am totally happy with all the decisions that I made that would preserve my happiness. This is why I would meet people and I would listen to what they would say. Let me say this. I tried to date this woman one time. Four kids. When she told me how many kids she had, she said, I'm telling you now, I got 4 kids. She said it in a manner in which she was ashamed of. At the time, I said, you know, it's beautiful. I've seen a beautiful woman, kids. And what ultimately ended up turning into was that individual tried to tell me that I basically wasn't worth nothing because of the expectations that I had from my family. Not, you're not holding your own, not you're not a man, not you don't take care of your kid, not you're a bum, not you ain't holding your own, none of that. What this individual tried to do was try to tell me that the expectations that I have of my family, it's just throwing up red flags with her and all this nonsense. I said, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm not interested in you anymore. Let's just be cool. Because what you're not gonna do is try to explain to me how you're now all of a sudden judging me. I said, when you told me you had 4 kids, remember how you told me. And what I didn't say was, well, God dang, B, you could have closed your effing legs. I didn't say anything like that. I had an individual try to tell me, I am, and I am, and of course that wasn't really an issue. It was, I really don't fit the bill. What it really was, this ain't the type of guy I'm used to dealing with. He's way out of my league. I can't do nothing for this man. But instead of saying that,